Is it insanely stupid of me to not give a FCK about my student loans? I have about $20,000 and change in federal student loans, and since the student loan forgiveness fell through, payments will start for these soon, and honestly I just do not care. I always see people making themselves absolutely miserable trying to desperately pay off their student loans by living as cheaply as they can and working as much as possible. My tentative plan is to just consolidate all of my loans, get on an income-based payment plan, and pay the lowest amount possible with automatic payments and move on with my life. I just don't see the point in making myself miserable and living off of ramen for the next few years so I can be debt-free. As long as those payments are made on time, my credit will be fine, and if by some insane miracle I would one day be able to purchase a house, lenders care more about your monthly payments instead of the overall debt. So I care and make myself miserable when I can just pay a $100 give or take a month and call it a day. At this point that's my plan. I literally don't think I could ever pay them off esp with the interest now. I can't care to even attempt it, bc it's literally pointless. This is the plan of multiple people I know. It's certainly mine. I put a down payment on a condo this year with the money I'd saved up from not paying student loans, and you're right, they absolutely did not care how much I actually owed, just that I pay my stuff on time. And I owe more than you. Just be zen about it. You're right to not care. Agencies don't care because they're making money off the interest, but as long as you're making your minimum payments, your credit score won't be affected, which can help you buying a car, house, or leasing. The money you don't use paying down your loans faster is better used in other places that can make you more money, particularly if you can qualify for a loan forgiveness program. I would kill to only have $20,000 in student loans. I moved to a different country and just stopped paying. Fuck them and their predatory bullshit. Just don't refinance with a private company. If it's still government-based, there is a further chance of forgiveness or other actions. I think it was the email from Navient about the interest that started again on July 1st. That's the one that did me in. There's literally no point in giving any fucks anymore. I have at least 10x more student loan debt than you, which I have been paying off for over 20 years. I am not sure I am going to make payments. Now the forgiveness would not have helped me much anyway. Student loans need to be able to be wiped by bankruptcy. Student loans are corrupt. The problem is that so far the 2025-year cancellation and often PSLF haven't actually functioned for people. So relying on that to work isn't a safe bet. And whoever is President Secretary of Education gets a say in how the cancellation work. For example, my first 3 years of non-profit work weren't counted toward PSLF under Obama or Trump because of issues with my loan servicer. We'll have to see how things play out, and I've been involved in a lot of the advocacy around this stuff. But the main reason to give a fuck is that those safety valves so far haven't actually worked. I have about $5,000 left. The forgiveness would have paid it off. Fuck me, I guess. I'm paying the bare minimum until I'm eligible for loan forgiveness. I genuinely don't care about them. I have around $60,000 in student loan debt and still was eligible for a home, a car, and multiple credit cards for travel hacking. I don't spend more than I have. My credit score is 810 and I'm doing just fine. They linger on my credit report and that's about it. No. Personally, I think everyone with student loans ought to revolt and refuse to make payments on them in protest. I don't know how to start this movement. It needs to be everyone. My brother ignored his student loans. They garnished his wages until they were paid off. To be honest, if the interest rate on the loan is under 10%, student loans typically are around 3–4%, it would make sense to only make the minimum payments toward the loan and put any extra money toward a house, a retirement account or some stock index with 10% returns. Mathematically you would make more money if you built equity with leftover money as opposed to paying off such low interest loans. If PPP loans don't get paid back, then neither should school loans. Nope. I have student loans. I will die before they are paid off, and I am totally fine with it. When you die, showing proof of death will discharge them. I have no regrets about having them. I view them as the price to pay so I can have the quality of life I have now. Yeah, I'm taking it one step further by putting it into forbearance basically forever until they stop letting me. I'll let the interest capitalize over and over, I don't give a shit. No, it is not stupid. Your attitude reflects this fact. Neither educational debt nor medical debt should ever exist in the first place. All of it should be completely forgiven now, full stop. Like most peer nations, America should adopt taxpayer-supported free pre-K through university public education. Like all our peer nations, America should adopt universal health care. Medicare for all except no substitute. We all gonna die sooner or later, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I dream of a time where we have enough class solidarity to not only have a general strike but also people collectively not paying their student loans. Could you imagine? I'm not even convinced I want to pay them back. Ed Financial wants me to renew or create a new account since I haven't logged on in 3 years. Why bother? Fuck 'em. Loaning an 18-year-old money to pay for an English degree was a stupid decision and I shouldn't be held liable for their mistakes. When my husband moved from the US to Canada, he stopped paying his loans. Why? Because the US student loan company is shit and can't figure out how to get money from him, without him opening a US dollar bank account here. Which we aren't doing. He would try to send checks with USD written on them, and they'd send them back. He's been deferred for years because his US income is zero. In the end we decided it's not our problem anymore. If they want him to pay back, they can figure out a way for him to do it. Nope. Fuck 'em. Fuck 'em. Only $20,000? Mine is more than 5x that. But anyway, yes, that's what I do as well. Every time I see posts about student loans, this is exactly my thought. I've been in and out of school since 2004. Got my bachelor's in 2019, went back to grad school, then withdrew recently. Whenever they do start again, I at one point paid $40 a month and the plan was for 10 years. I'm good with it and okay with treating it like any other bill I'll be paying for the foreseeable future. I graduated college in 2003. Did the bare minimum because just like you, I said fuck it. Not insanely stupid but not very conscientious about how much I could have saved as well. Macron. Bruh, this is my plan. I went to medical school and owe $475,000. I'll be lucky to even think about paying it off. I'm at $360K. IDGAF. Going for forgiveness and whatever happens happens. $20,000 is doable. You don't need to pay the minimum for the rest of your life on a loan that small. If you don't make very much money, the new repayment plan Biden started can make your payments very low. My brother and sister-in-law make like $100,000 combined and only have a minimum payment of like $300 a month. The less you make, the lower your payment. If you make less than $225 of the federal poverty line, you pay nothing. After 20 years your undergrad loans get forgiven. Every plan has its risks and rewards, but it is better to do what you have chosen to do, in my opinion. And this is coming from someone who just retired after working most of my life and trying to be as debt-free as possible. And for what? I'm old and my health is going downhill and I wish I had spent more time enjoying my life than sucking up to corporations who never gave a damn about me. I never had student loans, but I also never had a great career either. Enjoy your youth while you have it. I'd talk about student loans from a personal perspective, however, I've experienced other kinds of debt that I was taught was life-ending. It was not, and I found happiness after the fact. You did what you thought was right and the state knew lending practices were predatory and stood silently by as well as benefited. Live your life and utilize the education you have to make them hurt.